From surviving a battle with cancer and leading a small business by the age of 20 to helping cancer patients heal using the power of hypnotherapy, my guest today, Janine Almeida, is inspiring, uplifting, and brings an incredible sense of positivity to life and work. As an entrepreneur, clinical hypnotherapist, and accomplished dressage rider, Janina will share how she uses her combined experience from these professions to help teams build trust, resilience, and a shared sense of purpose. This is E3. Engage and empower with empathy. Welcome to the show today, Janina. It's so nice to have you here. This is going to be a really fun conversation. I'm looking forward to it. How are you doing today?
I hope so. I'm very happy and very happy to be with you today and to have this talk and to share some ideas with your audience. It'd be great.
Wonderful. And you're joining us from Portugal, right?
Yes, exactly. At the moment, we're in Portugal.
Wonderful.
And the spring just started, which is wonderful.
Yep, same here. It's a lovely time of year. So yeah, let's talk a little bit about your background. Obviously, you're Portuguese, so we learned that about you. You have such a diverse layer of history and what you experienced as a child. I mean, there's so much we could kind of unpack and dig into. Where do you want to start?
Well, let's start maybe from the beginning.
Yeah, sure.
with the biggest passion I was born with, which is horses and classical dressage and horse riding. And I was a child who grew up in the horses from a very young age, and I spent most of my childhood and up to the adult age 24/7. This really shaped me and made me who I am. And all the best learning process I had with horses. They did teach me the essentials for life and the essentials for having understanding on how important it is to be patient, to wait for the right moment, to don't set up expectations, to understand that the horse is stronger, and you don't force him. You lead him with your attitude, not with your strength. Yeah, because it's such a little girl as I was, because I started very young and such a big horse, and that they do what you want to, and they do this with you as a team. You don't perform this on your own. You need to engage this animal with you to become one together. And from that comes a lot of learning, to be patient, to wait for the right moment, to understand that the body is not a machine, that this animal has muscles and bones that will work differently in the front and in the back. So we need to wait for it, and we need to let it build up and allow him to grow mentally until he's capable to show you what he can do. So it's a lot of things that blend into everyday life. But definitely the most impactful experience they teach me, beside the patience and that everybody is different, every horse is a different personality, but it is the fact that the more you learn and the more you develop into the career of dressage, the more you understand that you still don't know nothing, and this never ends. This increases. The more you learn, you keep on learning this same lesson over and over, the more you learn. As soon as you start to believe you know a little bit of something, they show you that you still don't know nothing. And this I take with me through life, to keep the thirst of learning more new things, open the mind to the new, and expect the results to come. And then from this, at 17, I was very sick. The doctors took very long time to understand exactly what it was. First, they said it would be multiple sclerosis. Then it was not this, it was another disease that was a famous musician here in Portugal has it. That's how they call it. And all this to then understand that maybe it's a very sick, very serious enemy. But then they got it, that was a leukemia. They said that I should do a transplant, because at my age it's everything very fast. That was the only solution, the transplant. Through that, in this phase, my mother, a friend who's HIV was getting treated by a doctor who's beside the fact he's a Tibetan Lama, the only in Portugal at the time. He was as well an expert on orthomolecular biology and a naturopath. And through food, meditation, contemplation, and the right eating, the right supplements that he fabricated, we went through this. And after 6 months, the hospital said I was cured. So it was eye-opening.
Wow.
And of course, from that moment on, life is never the same. It's like a reborn. It's a second chance. And the way that life appears or how you look at it, every day it's a new beginning. Then the days feel appreciated. When you didn't have more days and suddenly you do, they feel very different. The understanding of the mind was something that always fascinated me, but from that moment on, more, of course.
Speaking of the mind, what was going through your mind during that time? And when you were diagnosed with leukemia at age 17, what were you thinking, and what carried you through that experience? I mean,
Actually, there was a deep knowing in me that I will live. I knew it was a force drive inside of me that this is not the end, even if I would die. And when you are 17, you want to live. And again, the horses teach you to do whatever it takes. You do whatever it has to be done to achieve the goal. So, of course, I needed to change completely my diet. I needed to go through really a totally different process of eating. And you learn with the horses that you don't postpone, you don't wait, you do. And the doing attitude leads. If you keep on doing, you will keep on having a result. You don't to stop, because that's a decision to wait. So you need to keep on doing whatever needs to be done to achieve a goal. And of course, I wanted to live, and inside of me was this fire for life and this knowing it's not the end. And it worked.
do you feel like that was a strong component of what led you to recover? I mean, you were also talking about working with this Tibetan Lama. Like, what was that
Yes.
combination of things that really led you to that recovery?
Yeah, this is the combination, because this naturopath is an automolecular doctor who produces medication, who is a naturopath. So you make a totally different food process, combination of ingredients, how certain things cannot be mixed, and what can eat with the fish, what you cannot eat with. So it was a lot of learning, but it was as well a lot of visualization, a lot of meditation, a lot of yoga, a lot of understanding that the body and soul cannot be separated, and that it's not enough to give nutrition to the body. You need to give nutrition to the brain, to the mind, to the soul. And this is not with food. This is with thinking, with visualization, with meditation, with being able to feel good with yourself, with your thoughts. When you stop in meditation and you want to, I don't say empty your mind, because you can't empty your mind, but you quiet down the subconscious voices and what you tell to yourself and how you see your life. And you start to order what you want to see in your life, in your mind, when you start to put thoughts that work on your favor. And this I learned there, even though I didn't understood the technique behind it, I went with the flow of this Buddhism way of seeing life and this Buddhism attitude towards life. So it built up. Yeah. What I ended up doing later in my life was to understand what the technique behind all these steps, nevertheless, is the building up of the strategies in the mind, understanding that this visualization of yourself healthy has a major impact, and give the nutrition to the body and to the soul, definitely.
I love that, because when we think of nutrition, we automatically go to diet. That's such a beautiful quote of really just providing nutrition to the mind and the soul. We tend to forget that component. You know this very well. Our thoughts can become who we are if we really start believing them. And
we are definitely what we think.
So
I have evidence.
I know we've had conversations offline about how you realized at one point in your life that the common thread throughout your whole life was your fascination with the mind. And that must have started at a young age
That
when you were diagnosed with leukemia and had to really see that mind body connection. And
it was many
um,
things. It was how the body and how the mind influences the body. Yeah, there was a real proof that I had, because it was not that I changed my diet. Of course, I can kill cancer with what I eat because I can deprive the cancer, but the cells are still multiplying. They are still dividing. How do you want to see it? The command for this to stop, it's here. It's no matter what happens in our body, it's still everything happens with the thought. If I need to think, oh, I'm thirsty, so that I activate a lot of muscles, that I get up and that I go to a kitchen and I pick a glass and I drink that water. But first starts with the thought, and the thought leads to a whole bunch of neurotransmissions that will lead to the final result. But this understanding and how fascinating it is, that the power that the mind has on the body, and how we can treat ourselves well enough so that our body can treat us well too, that we give this love to ourselves that we need to be able to heal. And sometimes the love is just as simple as that we tell good words to ourselves, that we are not so harsh, that we are not so demanding. We most of the times tell things to ourselves that we would never ever say to someone else. Yeah,
true.
that change of talking will allow the body to experience life in a different way. And when I healed from leukemia, had the invitation from a friend to open a company and to start a company together. And this was very interesting because I was 18 and I did this with her, having no idea where I was going to, just with goodwill. And after 6 months, we had 60 women working with us. As an 18-year-old girl, she was older than me, but still, it's a very different environment. Only women or a mixed men and women team. And we had the only women team, and we worked through the night. We exported the wild mushrooms to Italy. So we had night shifts, and because at 5 in the morning, the mushrooms needed to be at the airport to go to Italy. So it was a whole process. So through the night, we needed to work with the team who would arrive, prepare the mushrooms, the ones who go fresh to Italy, the ones who need to be put in the freezer to deep freeze, or to be cut to be dry. It's a lot of options. And to lead such a group of women in a way that they are happy, because every time they are not happy with what they do and they start cleaning your product, it's money that goes away. Because we pay the raw material as it is, and every time we clean it or we change it, it's garbage, it's wasted. So you need to keep these people engaged and doing their best, engaged on loving what they are doing, so that the result is beautiful, and that the product at the end that the consumer will have, it's a first class product. And that depends a lot on the dedication that the people who manage it and are behind have with them, and to keep them engaged, to work through the night. Everybody's tired, they are sleepy. You need to understand the mind and to be interested in the mind and how the mind works and how these people can feel good while they do what they do, so that you have at the end of the day a first class product. And we had a first class product. And yeah, this process that grows and make you grow. So I think I aged a lot
No
in these
kidding.
5 years.
I can't imagine taking over a business like that at 18. I mean, I was a child at age 18. So what did you do to keep those women engaged and inspired to create that high class product, as you say?
Yeah, mainly I was there with them. I didn't put
Hmm.
myself in the position of being the boss. I was there as well, giving my best. Because this is the other thing that the horses teach you. They teach you that you need to give your best all the time. And sometimes your best is not always the same. You are not always at your top. But once you are there, you should give your best, and we will not always all be on top, but if we could pull each other, and if we see that someone is not at their best at that time, you can pull up this person. I put music in the factory and we dance and we sing, and and it became a family. And before they leave, I prepared something to eat or breakfast, so that we are together building something that they are proud of. And at the end of the day, that they look at the results of what they produce, and they were happy and inspired, and that they felt proud that this job they did there, no matter if it was just to clean the factory after, or if it was to sharpen the knives, to cut the mushrooms, it was a work together that we did to achieve something that we were proud of, and to be there with them and to do the job and to show that you are no less. And if you want someone to do it better, you do better first. Again, the horses. The master always showed the rider, the young rider, that he does best, that he can do better. So I was very engaged to not to do better, but to do my best, that everybody can see that I put my best on it. It's not the better job, but it's my best. I was not there just to do it halfway. I was there to do my best with all the engagement, with all the ability that I could bring to the table. I was open even to learn from the older women who were there, who knew this longer time. I sat beside, I looked, I copied. And yeah, you need to show this interest so that others can stay interested as well.
I love that. There's so much I've read about how the best leaders are lifelong learners, always curious, asking questions, never assuming they know everything. So I love that you were learning from the older women and asking questions and trying to better yourself at the same time, alongside all the other women you were working with.
That gets addictive. You once we get the joy of learning. It's something so addictive that
It
once you
is.
taste it, you can't stop it.
I fully agree with that.
That goes with you for every little thing, and to keep the interest, this curiosity that kids have, that everything is fascinating. And if you look at everything with the fascination and interest, and then it's so easy to learn.
So I mean, I feel like that pretty much encapsulates your entire life, Janina, like just constantly looking for ways to learn. And so obviously you started off as a very young woman in this entrepreneurial role. Where did you go after that? What did your life journey look like beyond that initial entrepreneurial endeavor?
Yeah, well, once you entrepreneur, forever entrepreneur. She had it in the meanwhile. After 5 years, she had breast cancer. So we decided to sell the company so she could focus on getting better. And but I always loved business, real estate. My father was an architect. We had then a cork factory who produced the champagne cork, and it was the year 2000, so it was a lot of need of. I bought some properties to remove the cork to produce the cork for the champagne. And it was more interesting to buy the property and then to take the cork to produce for the bottles, the cork and all that, than it was that I just took the harvest, the cork. So I started to buy these properties to produce the champagne the cork, and then I had a property for free somehow, almost. And then, of course, I developed any real estate project on it, or I just sold it. And so, like this, I started to build. And then I started to go to the government auctions to buy at the property from the government some cork. And so in this, it was a men's world at that time. And I was really young, 21, 23 then, and in the men's world, where I was really not respected as a professional. They thought I was a spoiled little girl who had daddy paying all the bills and things like this. So it was to build the name and to build a career and to show that I had knowledge and that I could do it. And then already after the 23, I thought I had so many questions and I went through so many difficulties and I opened 3 companies and it was everything so hard that I thought, oh, this is because I didn't made a degree. So I go to the university, do business management. And once there I got it, okay, I can have a piece of paper, but this is not teaching me to run a company. This doesn't tell me how I sleep in the night when I need to pay 60 salaries. It's important, no question about it, but it's like making a driver's license. It teaches you to use the car, but you will learn driving once you are on the road after. So I already had companies, and all the questions that had no answer remain with no answer because these courses are not for people who are already running a company. They are for people who will want to one day become entrepreneurs or run someone else's company. So yeah, it's important, no question about it. But I still think it misses a lot of points. And looking at it today, there is no subject about mindset. And an entrepreneur, it's all about mindset. I had many clients, all in an older age. I love actually people from 70 on because this is when real knowledge
That's when the wisdom really hits. Yeah.
transmitted. And this was the majority of my clients. And with them, I learned more or less everything I know about managing companies. Was with them. And I had the luck that they liked me and liked to teach, and I liked it to learn. So it was a very good interaction. But they had the 4th class, which is the first primary school years, most of them, and they become very important businessmen. Portugal at that time, this was the normal thing, yeah. But this is the mind, the spirit of the entrepreneur. It's all about mindset. It's about believing in yourself even when everything fails. It's having the courage and the guts to take decisions, no matter if they will go right or wrong, but deciding to take action. And again, from the horses, to move forward. The company needs to keep going forward. It cannot wait or delay because decisions are not made and because we never know, oh, yeah, we don't have a crystal ball. So we need to take decisions and some will be right and some will be wrong, and there is nothing wrong with that. Yeah, so the more often we took a wrong decision, that's most likely that this will not happen again. So we need to keep on going, movement forward, so that we can reach somewhere. The university will not teach you how to have the right mindset, how to have positive thinking, how to sleep in the night. This is really important because when you have finances, taxes, import, export, and it takes your thoughts away into so many directions that to have the right mindset, to rearrange that in your mind, that you still keep calm and you keep driven and you keep on doing and you believe in your decisions and in yourself and you project and can see further and you can visualize what you want to achieve with your company, how the people there will live and so on. This you don't learn in university, and this is what makes the company. Their leaders, how they see it, the future, how they take decisions.
I thought that was a great way to wrap up the first part of my conversation with Janina. In this episode, we started with her childhood survival of cancer and learned how Janina used that experience and her love of horses to shape who she is today. In next week's episode, we will dig into how she is embracing her passion for studying mind-body connection to help cancer patients heal and help business leaders create more collaborative and resilient teams. See you next week. This podcast is designed to help busy business leaders create an inspired and engaged workforce. I am building a community of like-minded leaders and experts who all share the same passion, taking care of people at work. Whether you are a blue-collar worker or a white-collar worker, small business owner or corporate executive, you belong in this community. If you enjoyed this podcast and would like to hear more, please subscribe wherever you like to listen to podcasts. If you know someone who I should interview or should be part of this community, please connect with me on LinkedIn or Instagram. Life is too short. Let's take care of each other at work so that together we can make this world a better place.